Hi everyone, in this video I will be talking about 6 diet mistakes that people make once they start their fat loss journey. So let's quickly dive into the video. The first mistake is trying to find shortcuts when they are starting out their diet. Fat loss is a time consuming process, so you cannot accelerate the process by eating or drinking additional things like apple cider vinegar, green tea, lemon honey water, or you can try eating fat burners, fat loss pills, etc. You need to realize that these products don't work. If they would have worked, there won't be any overweight or obese people around you. Also, I can tell you from my personal experience when I was 120 kgs that obese people tend to be very lazy and often fall for these gimmicks because they don't want to put in the actual efforts and they just want quick results. Don't be that person. Start putting in efforts. It's all worth it in the end. The next mistake is underestimating their calorie intake. In order to lose weight, a person should be in a calorie deficit. That means that you have to eat less than your maintenance calories. Everyone knows that. But what many people don't know is how many calories a particular food contains. And in this process, they end up underestimating the calories that they have consumed. Not keeping a tab on what you are eating throughout the day, like randomly picking biscuits here and there, a handful of peanuts here and there, all these things can go unnoticed and can lead to a higher calorie intake. Overweight people tend to underestimate their calorie intake and overestimate their calorie expenditure. According to our research, people tend to underestimate as much as 50% of their calories if they don't keep a conscious tab on what they are eating in a day. The next diet mistake is weekend cheat meals. First of all, I think it is a very bad way to describe higher calorie days as cheat days. Since you associated a negative word with this higher calorie days, you subconsciously feel guilty about eating more on those days. So for the sake of it, we'll just call it higher calorie days. Also, when you think of a cheat meal or a cheat day, it becomes more of how much food you can stuff in your mouth and eat as much as you can on that day instead of enjoying a little break from your dieting. Eating 1000 calories on weekdays and eating 4000 calories on weekend, that is not a sustainable way of dieting. Even if you are planning to eat higher calories on weekends, plan it beforehand and decide what food items are you going to actually eat on that day, and practice mental restraint. Unless you don't try having control over your eating habits, you won't have control. You are stronger than you think. The next mistake is eating too frequently or eating too less. Previously, it was believed that a person should eat 5 to 6 meals a day because it will keep your metabolism high since you keep on eating something every few hours. Now it has become the exact opposite. Currently, fasting is the new trend and it is advised that people should eat 1 to 2 meals a day. At the end of the day, your overall calorie intake matters and it determines whether you are going to lose fat or whether you are going to gain fat. Number of meals hardly matters. The next mistake is making drastic and sudden changes to your diet. Now, this is really common around the new year when motivation is high and people want to get their results right away. So, you will see some people slashing their calories in half trying to lose 7 to 10 kgs in a month. But this negatively affects their health and can create some hormonal imbalances as well. If you crash diet on low calories, you might lose more weight, but that weight mostly would be coming from your muscle mass instead of the fat mass. And most people end up feeling so deprived after a crash diet that they end up gaining all that weight back anyway. So you can go for a much more sustainable approach and start by creating a calorie deficit in your diet ranging from 10% to 20% depending upon your fat loss goal. The next diet mistake that people make is jumping from one diet plan to another. People just leave everything that they are doing and jump to a different diet plan thinking that they will get the same results as the other person. But what worked for the other person might not work for you because of the difference in your current weights, lifestyle, food choices, previous dieting history, and food intolerances. After a week or so, you will find it extremely hard to stick to that diet plan. You can have the best diet plan in the world, but if you don't stick to it, the plan is of no use. Have patience and follow the plan that you decided on following. Good things take time, and so does fat loss. I hope today's video was helpful and you learned something new today. If you have any questions, just feel free to post them in the comment section. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.